Island, New York. I'm sorry.
What's that?
Staten Island, New York.
Oh, Staten Island, New York. Okay, hey, that's cool. You're the Eastern Standard Time, so I appreciate you taking up with us tonight.
Yes, sir. And who's this?
This is Caesar.
Hi, Caesar. It's Allison.
Oh, hi, Allison.
Facebook friend.
Yeah, cool. Who else do we have on the line tonight?
Hi, Caesar. This is Walter from Detroit.
Walter from Detroit, East Coast. How you doing?
Yeah. Wonderful.
Awesome. Are you guys also dialed in on the computer, or are you just kind of listening on your phones?
I'm on the computer.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I'm on my phone. I'm cooking at the moment.
Okay. What you cooking there, Allison?
I'm macaroni and cheese for my son.
Hey, that's what kids love. My kids love macaroni and cheese. That's all right.
Okay.
Who else do we have on the line tonight?
Dustin from Mississippi.
Dustin from Mississippi. Welcome to the call, Dustin. How's the weather out there in the South?
Man, that's a good question. It depends on what day you ask, man. Right now it's like 40 degrees. I think it's supposed to be like 60 Saturday.
Wow. We get some feedback there. It's okay. That's normal. Who else do we have on the line?
Brother Caesar, it's Anthony up the road from you.
Anthony McGee?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah, I feel like I posted this in the group. I feel like a virgin. I haven't done a hangout or a webinar for the public since October. So my wife and I just strictly focused on product movement in the last few months, and that's been our majority of our income coming in. So just wanted to prove it's possible and come back and show some numbers. I think you guys can be pretty impressed tonight. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen now. Who else do we have on the phone?
Hi, Caesar. It's Carla in North Carolina.
Hi, Carla. How you doing?
Good. I'm going to hang up the phone and just listen in on the computer, okay?
Perfect. No problem. Thanks for calling in. All right, guys. We have about a minute left, and we'll get started on my time. Who else do we have on the call?
George from the Philippines.
George from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wow. Are you dialed in like on Skype, or how are you doing?
I'm doing a meeting border. I just registered the webinar.
Oh, so you're actually on. Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate you dialing in from the Philippines. I think that's our longest caller all the way through, so I appreciate you staying up. Is it daytime there? I'm assuming.
Go two, Julio.
What?
Two. Hold it.
All right.
You are now muted.
I have muted lines. It sounds like somebody's watching the game. So if you can just focus for an hour or less, I'm going to try to go through this information as fast as possible. Please hold the questions. You can type them into the question and answer box, and I'll try to get to them as fast as possible. We do have a lot of information to cover tonight. Let me refresh my screen here. I think we have like 103 people registered. So I won't be able to get to everybody tonight. 115 now. 115 registrations. So appreciate you guys being on the call tonight. I don't know if any of EDS members are on. I invited a few people, but I haven't heard back from them. I don't know if they were able to make it on. But if they come on, great. If not, that's okay too. I'd just like for them to insert some feedback as we move on. Okay, so what has been happening with Cesar Ramirez and his wife Sochi? We started this system called Elite Dropshippers 3 years ago, December. Actually 3 years ago in March publicly, but we started 3 years ago, December, that was just passed. So we hit our 3-year anniversary in the online money-making industry, if you will, product movement, using a little website called eBay. And so after 3 years, we finally decided to, take our business to the next level and start investing some of our income into purchasing our own products and then kind of doing some testing. I've invented some of my own little products. Some of you may have seen it on my Instagram or my Facebook. I created a little hot sauce on the go. Actually, if you guys are familiar with like Tapatio hot sauce, I actually created. Actually, I'll show you. Tapatio hot sauce. This was one of my hot sellers. And if you type in keychain, that is my product right there. So this little guy went from, in 2 months, I was selling them. Some of my team members here on eBay were selling them on eBay as well. I didn't put them on eBay, so I won't compete with them. But I moved about 650 bottles in less than 2 months. So you can imagine they were great stocking stuffers. And this is just a little idea I had. The idea I had was originally for a little sauce called tagine. It's actually used as beer salt. Some people use it as fruit salt, fruit seasoning. That's what I use it for. So this idea right here was my first one. Right here, you see that guy on the left-hand side? And it's a little bottle. You hook up your keychain. I got the idea because I walked out of my house and I said, man, I bought some fruit on my watermelon. Oh, it is bomb on watermelon, let me tell you. And then they came out with the habanero one, which is a little bit more spicier. It's not that spicy, but I ended up putting a keychain on that. And so that's how I started playing around with buying my own products, and then kind of, because these are like low ticket items, right? They only cost a few pennies or a few bucks to play around with. And then I just got the idea of creating this O-ring and then putting a keychain on it. And then some little shop around the corner says, hey, that's a great idea. Can you do the same thing for Tapatio? Well, we killed it on Tapatio sauce on Amazon, okay, and eBay too. Some of my members inside of EDS were listing them on eBay. And I was moving so much product that I finally got a call from their attorney and said, hey, you cannot do that. That's our patent idea. Well, what's interesting is that their patent idea is actually just a plastic-looking bottle. It's not the actual hot sauce. But I was buying 500 bottles in cases from them and making them. Long story short, they're the typical red tape company. I almost want to ban them because of the way they treated me. I thought they'd be happy with me, and it doesn't matter. That's just a product testing I did. That wasn't all my income. The reason I'm sharing this story with you guys is because I got into actually physical products and not digital products because I had some capital that I wanted to kind of play with and invest and start kind of moving my own products, okay? So what you're about to learn here tonight is that you can get started with pretty much less than a few $100, okay? When I got started, that's pretty much what I invested in. I didn't have any tools or any product in hand. I did everything through drop shipping, the drop shipping model. And then after the drop shipping model, my wife and I messed around and we started to move our own products on Amazon. We started playing some FBA stuff and some stuff, and we'll talk about a little bit about that tonight. But a lot of people say, Caesar, show me your numbers because you got to prove it. I mean, you're showing me products, but show me your numbers. I'm going to show you a statistical chart. We got started around, I would say around September, October, November. We finally caught on with what's going on in November, and then December we did okay, about 11,000 in sales, and then we did about 19,000 in January. And I'll go into some numbers here tonight. But here's a quick shot. I moved 498 products. Okay, people ordered 552 units ordered right there. And then we made 32,000 in sales, okay? And I can kind of ballpark it. In December, we sold 11,000, like I mentioned. We brought home about 8,000 profit. In January, we did 19,000 in sales, close to 20,000. It was like 19,000 some change. I just rounded it up to 20,000. And we brought home 16,000 in profit into our personal bank account, okay? So if you're telling me if this is and this might scare some of you. Some of you might not be used to these numbers, so I'm going to start small. And then we can come back to this concept, and we can talk a little bit more about this. So let's go ahead and get started. For those that haven't seen what we do, we are an eBay, Amazon training center, okay? So you're going to discover a little bit about our system here. I'll cover some brief slides for those folks that haven't seen what we do. And then if I have anybody on the call, you can cut me off right now and just say, hey, I'm on the call, so I know you're here. Okay, perfect. Doesn't sound like anybody got a chance to dial in unless I muted them out. But regardless, let me keep moving here. So tools that you will need for this concept, I'm going to teach you a little bit about the elite dropshippers dropship model and how we started building up some capital, and then you can take some of that income again and then start investing into your own products. Or if you're somebody that says I have a lot of capital, I just want to learn what you just did to do the average of $10,000 in sales, or profit and beyond, can you teach me that? Yes, you'll have the ability to do that, but I just got to tell you, I'm talking to the two kinds of classes of people here: folks with money or folks without money, folks with a lot of time or folks with not a lot of time. And so I want to make sure I cover both grounds. If you guys can be patient enough to allow me to do that, I'm going to try to cover this information as fast as possible. And please hang on and take some notes as we go through here. It's really important to understand that I used to do webinars weekly, to kind of teach new students this. As I told you, I haven't done one since October, maybe November, publicly, just because we got so busy acquiring products and then kind of building our brand and moving our own kind of product base of equipment. And I'll go through what has been really working for us. So thank you for your patience. If you've been waiting for this webinar and you're fortunate you're one of the first 100 people that got on here tonight, good for you. I'm glad you got to catch this information because I'm fired up, guys. I don't know about you guys, but as a computer engineer, I have to spend over $40,000, $50,000 to go to college. I wasn't even bringing home 1/3 of this money, that was coming in. And it sucked. It sucked driving in traffic. It sucked coming back. And some of you can feel my pain. You know what I'm talking about. So we're called the elite dropshippers, right? And this got branded really because I wanted to set us apart from everybody else by the experience that I have. Wasn't a marketer first. I know there's a lot of different great companies out there that are really good at marketing, right? But they're so lousy in support. And that's when people really come to us and say, I really like what you guys have here. You're not all about just, recruiting and throwing people in and hoping they stick just to take their money. You really care about them and want to educate them through your system. And that's really what we're about, guys. And I hope you really get that from my humbleness here tonight. And I'm trying to, not to, and I hate to use this cliche because it's used so much, but I'm not trying to impress you, but really to impress upon you that, if anybody like myself, an average Joe can do it, I believe anybody can do it if they can really just set their mind to the state that I don't have to convince you. You don't have to convince yourself of who Amazon is, who eBay is, okay? I think everybody knows who they are, so it's really easy to talk about. Okay, it's not like a brand new product in the marketplace that I have to convince you about. Does that make sense? So I think that's really key that you understand that. So a couple questions here, guys. What would an additional $10 or even $200 a day mean to you and your family? That's definitely possible, guys. I'm having a bad day if I don't make at least $200 in my online store. Okay, just so you guys know. And then how about some target leads that actually want to talk to you? If you've ever done any type of sales opportunity or sales program. Thank you. Can you close the door? Thanks. My son just brought me a drink, and I guess it's past 5 o'clock for most of you guys. I don't really drink, guys, but lately I decided to hang out. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to have, looks like my wife made me a pina colada or something. I don't know. That's pretty good. Okay. So, moving on. What would that be worth to you guys? So you guys can discover a little bit about that here tonight, how we do this. I'm covering some huge ground here. You might have learned this concept I've learned this when I was in like my first years of network marketing. Amway, Quickstar. I was part of a lot of different home-based businesses, and even though I didn't really make a lot of money in those businesses because I wasn't really good at talking to people or convincing them to try this brand new lotion or legal service or whatever the case is, I always got my first foundation of personal growth. And I believe without personal growth, if you don't have personal growth or personal development in your life, you can sway in a really interesting area. And some of the older leaders like Jim Rohn and Earl Nightingale, and folks like this, Zig Ziglar, their foundation was always scripture, right, from the good book. And I didn't really pay attention to that until later on when The Secret came out, and I started realizing that the world was actually dissecting themselves from two different worlds here. You got the secret that's trying to teach you personal development, kind of washed off, and then you got the old school leaders, which I personally like following because I think they have some really good wisdom that can teach me a lot from the past. And again, I'm at a point in my life now that I got kids now, and I really got to watch what I tell them and not get too new agey. Does that make sense? And I feel like maybe The Secret kind of gets into that point where it gets too new agey and losing some of the foundation that I was brought up with. And I believe a lot of these leaders that taught me about this being your number one priority is key. That's your rock, right? Jim Rohn talks about that. Build it on the rock, not the sand. And I started to realize that if I don't cover this part right here, no matter what I teach you here tonight, none of it's going to stick or matter because you haven't figured out why are you doing something different, right? The pain has got to be big enough. And I remember working at my little engineering job at Sony Electronics with a bunch of people that were complaining. I was carpooling every day. They were complaining about it being a Monday, and as much as I tried to work on myself, I kept bouncing back. They kept talking about people. They kept talking about what's important in their life, like materials, and that kind of stuff wasn't important to me. And I remember listening to Jim Rohn. He says, find a way to serve the many because serving the many leads to greatness. And this was in 2008. I was losing everything. I was losing my house, losing my credit. And at that point, I realized that I'm going to go all the way, and I'm just going to take the risk because even though I had kids and I had a family, I needed to do something different or else nothing else is going to change. So I took that leap of faith, lost it all, and I'm glad that I made that decision because it really humbled me that material stuff, the house, the credit, all that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is your health and your sanity and that you get to spend more time with your family. And that was my priority, guys. That was my why. And so I got rid of my Debbie Downers. I got rid of my why. And once I realized that that was my most important thing, and I fully surrendered, to whoever your higher power is, your God, Jesus Christ, whoever it is, Buddha, in your part, everybody's got a different belief. I surrendered, man. I just said, I'm going to give it all. I'm going to let go of all the anxiety, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to make this happen. And that's what I did, guys. That's my story. Okay, so take it for what it's worth. We all go through our personal journeys, and that was mine. And we get to spend now, I think I'm going on 6-7 years now without a job and doing this full-time from home, the internet marketing space. My wife retired in 2012 as a teacher, and that was the reason why I built this system. Okay, this concept was started for the support of my wife, again, and she says, I want something else to do. I'm tired of teaching. I'm tired of this Common Core that's coming into the system that's corrupting our kids, and that's whole another story and concept, but we're homeschooling our kids for the first time. I think this is a beautiful thing, too. We get to get up and go whenever we want to. And by the way, that hot sauce thing I showed you earlier in the webinar, the ones with the hot sauce stuff, that was actually a little project that I built for my son because I wanted him to learn. You see, when I sit in front of a computer and I start to do all the stuff I'm about to show you, my kids never get to learn that because it's too technical. They're so young; they don't really see what Dad's doing in front of the computer, right? But when you get a physical product in their hand, like this, and you say, "Hey, go put a ring around this, and then put a keychain, and make me a few bottles. I'm going to pay you a quarter for every single bottle that's sold." And I would sell them in pairs of 3s. So my son would make 75 cents every single time I sold a pack. And this is teaching them to value money. Does that make sense? And so if you guys have kids or you are a kid, learn how to create something that can keep on selling over and over again. That's where freedom really comes in. Okay, so drop shipping concept is pretty simple, guys. I'm gonna show you a live presentation. The first step is we're gonna list an item on eBay. Okay, the second step is we're gonna show you how to do it as a buy it now. And then the buyer is gonna pay you into your PayPal account. You're going to take that cash and then ship it from that site to the buyer. So let's do that real quick right now. Like I said, we have a lot to cover here tonight. So let me open up my eBay store. And what I'm going to do, let's see. Hello? Someone says, is there supposed to be sound? Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys type something in the question box? Ray apparently can't hear anything, so I don't know why he's calling. I don't know who's calling me actually from New York. Can you guys still hear me? I just want to make sure I'm still on the air here. Okay, so apparently it's just somebody that doesn't have sound. Okay, is that Lewis on the line?
I'm here, buddy.
Oh, okay. Was that you calling from New York? Or New Jersey?
I'm in Jersey, but yeah, maybe.
Okay, I wasn't sure who was calling me on my cell phone, but
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, welcome to the call, Louis. I wasn't sure what happened there. Okay, so I'm about to list an item here really quick. That's where I was on. As I do this, go ahead and introduce yourself, Louis, and where you're dialed in from.
Hey, this is Louis Soto from New Jersey.
Let me show you a picture of Louis. Well, here you go.
Okay.
There he is. I think last time I did this slide, he was making. It was in August of last year. He did 4,600. I think your best month is way over 7,000. Last time I checked, but maybe you have a better month at.
Yeah, no, that was my best month. I got started with EDS in March of last year. Aggressively began to use the tools and really learn the material in the back office, watch the videos, multiple times till it registered, and went about the business of stocking my virtual shelves, growing my store as quickly as I possibly could. And I want to say I probably got, to a couple of thousand items pretty quickly, and have maintained a store of about 2,500 items. I started averaging about $4,500 in income. I want to say August, definitely. August, September, October were all around 4,500. November was close to 7,000, and then December was a great month. It was close to 8,000. Last month I kind of fell back to my averages around $4,000, which is okay. It's a little bit you get used to the holiday rush, and you don't want to come back to reality, but that's okay. Just got me to get back to work and build, because I like the bigger numbers. Building my store, take it to the next level.
Awesome, Louis. Thanks for sharing your story. And Louis just recently did a live seminar out in his area of New Jersey, right, Louis? And and you had a great. I don't know how many people showed up. I saw a room full of people.
Over 50. Yeah.
Over 50. So that was a great turnout. So some of you on this webinar might have been there. So, Louis is an amazing teacher as well, and I appreciate you being on tonight, buddy. And I'm just going to show. I'm in the process of showing someone how to list using our tools. I used to show the manual method, guys, and I just found that it was taking too long for that new person. They were messing up on the copying and pasting. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to head over to Amazon and just pick a top-selling item. As a matter of fact, I can just go to bestsellers. I think I can search right here, bestsellers, in all departments, and then Amazon's going to show me all their bestsellers. But I don't really care for books at the moment. I like the kitchen department. That's kind of my thing, is the household items, right? And so I'm going to head down to household. Might be better if I just type in household items. Let's see if that works out. Okay, so let's take this item here, this Kleenex Ultra Tissue, and I'm going to select this, and this is a bestseller. Something that I've taught my team here, folks that are already involved. I do some Q&A sessions for folks that are involved. Some of you are brand new to this concept, but if you've ever done any type of online marketing or learned SEO, I would say that's pretty much the internet. Every single website that you see out there is competing for keywords and how to get to the top in the first page of anything. And when it comes to Amazon, there isn't anything really different between Amazon and Google, in the case that Amazon is actually 10 times more powerful than Google. I read this in an article, I believe it was on Bloomberg, but they said that when someone looks for a product, the majority of the people would go to Amazon first before they go to Google. And so that's when I started to really look into understanding what these rankings mean. See down here where it says Amazon's bestseller rank, and my hot sauce idea was actually a great test. I started with 0, right, because it never sold, and then I made one sale, and then it showed up to 100,000, I believe, as I was making about 2 or 3 a day, and then I started making more sales, and then it started dropping down to 50,000, and then I went all the way down to 6,000. And when it comes down to anything under 50,000, that means you're selling at least within a 48-hour period. It's been my experience that product is moving almost every single day, within 48 hours. So it's either every day or every other day. but it's moving. As it gets to 10,000 and below, it starts to move even faster, pretty much every single day. And so I was down to 6,000. I was moving almost every single day. I ran out of stock, and I was going to do another shipment, and that's exactly what happened. I was waiting about a week for the product to come in, and I got pushed up all the way to 100,000 again because I was out of stock, and that's what happens. It loses its rank, okay? And that's important to know for both eBay and also if you're going to sell on Amazon. It's really important to know. And so your best seller rank, that's the little golden nugget I just shared with you guys here, that you want to make sure it's a low number. And so you can see this one's the best seller at number 8. That means this baby's selling every single day. So do you guys think that's a great product to list on your eBay store? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go see how many people are actually selling it. That's where it really becomes the key thing. Are you willing to undercut the other person that's selling the same item? Okay, we want to make sure we click on the eBay logo here, and we're going to right-click and paste it here and just hit search. And our competition is exactly 16 sellers. Okay, this person right here decided to, looks like they used their own image. Yeah, it looks like it's their own image. They wrote APAC there. They modified it a little bit. That's selling for $16.49, $17.01. For the new person, we highly recommend that you list items that are within your budget. Why is that? Because as a new person, most likely, if you've never sold anything before on eBay, they're going to hold your funds for about 90 days, and you got to meet some requirements. Some of those are selling at least $5,000 worth of merchandise, which is pretty easy to do. And I believe, if the rules haven't changed, I believe it's 25 items total within the 90-day period. And that means that as you sell, you got to use your own. You got to basically front your own money to move the product from Amazon once it sells. So let's say I buy something from Lisa, and Lisa gets my $16, but she really doesn't. It's being set on hold on PayPal until she spends, whatever the item costs. Let's say it costs only $10 on Amazon. She spends the $10 on Amazon to move the product, and then the $16 are released within, I think, 3 or 5 days or so. Okay. If you call it in, of course, it can move faster because you can negotiate. Hey, I already shipped the item. There's my tracking number, and it's been released. So this is a great way to leverage your credit cards and also pay it back. As a matter of fact, my credit card company says, hey, you've been using us so much to buy merchandise, we're going to raise your limits another $1,000. But you're using the credit card to your advantage versus using it towards a debt. Does that make sense? You're using it because you're making sales and you're buying products, and so you're making. Sorry guys, I'm getting a call here. Okay. I should have probably blocked my number. Okay, so let's take this idea, okay, and we can sort. You notice by default that eBay is always sorting by best match. So we've modified our software to always sort by best match. I'm gonna drop this thing down to sort by the lowest price and shipping. So best match showed $16.49, but the cheapest person was actually this gentleman out in South Africa. Wow, it's the first time I've seen somebody in South Africa selling these Kleenex for $15.86. If they're really drop shipping, this may not be attractive to me as a buyer in the U.S. because I think this person is probably moving the product from Africa, right? So I wouldn't probably order it, even though it's free shipping. I might subconsciously think it might take too long to get here. So whoever the seller is, it's probably a good idea for them to change that address to a local U.S. Zip code, and you can do that really easy. A couple things here. I'm looking at prices. People are competing against pennies here, right? So this is not going to be a huge profit. What I'm really looking for is the best seller, the top seller guy. I'm going to scroll down here, see if there's any top sellers selling this item. Top rated seller, look at this person right here. 116 sold. But wait a minute, they're actually more expensive. They're actually $1 more than the cheapest guy. See, it's $17.52, and up here it's at $15.86. So they're exactly $1 and some change cheaper, and they're charging for. Oh no, that's not the right person. Where's he at? Down here. Yeah, okay, they're free shipping. Sorry, I got confused. Okay, so we got top rated seller, we got free shipping, and he's moving products. And if you guys really want to know what he's making, you can do that using a calculator called New Life Auctions. Let me pull that up real quick. All right, so we always list our items as fixed price auction, and I promise you I go slower on the presentation for the training center, but I'm pretty much showing you what we teach our new member here. So we're going to take a basic store, considering you're a new seller, we're going to take the actual cost of this item. Always double check it's cheaper, $13.58 there. So that's going to be our item cost, $13.58. And then our buy it now price is going to be $17.52. $17.52. So as you can see, this doesn't get really exciting for Lewis. Lewis doesn't go for $1.55, but that's because Lewis has been doing this for a while now, and he's got, his limits are higher, and he can list $50, $100 to $100 items, $200 items. And he doesn't have to fork it out of pocket. He can actually use his money. Like myself, when I got started, just like that new person gets started, they have to front the money, and so you don't want to be listing expensive items. So this might be a good little test for you, just to get your account built up, so you can start releasing some of that money for that account. So a very well-known seller, XA Electronics. Okay, look at his feedback, over 263,000 feedback. Okay. 99.6 people think he's a really good seller, and he's well known. Let's just say that. We've used them in our training, but I'm going to take this item here based off of the Amazon item that I found. All I did was copy the item and search for it on eBay. That's how I found those guys. Okay, so I'm going to take the ASIN number. That's Amazon SKU number. I'm going to head over to our software over at Elite Dropshippers. We recommend that you use Firefox, and we recommend that you use Chrome. So any of those two on Mac or Windows. And let me log in here. Yes, I'm a member. All right. All right, so if you go to the tools area at the very top, we're going to go to bulk list, and we're going to go to the file exchange. I'm on a Mac right now, so we're going to do file exchange. We recommend everybody start getting used to file exchange because to me, it's pretty simple. File exchange, Amazon keyword. All I'm going to do is grab one ASIN. I'm going to list this item for 30 days. Okay. Where do you want to get paid? I want to put my PayPal email address. You guys are welcome to send me donations there. I'm just kidding. Okay, ASIN number right there. Right click and paste. There's the ASIN number. All right, so a little recap, really easy to do. I went to Amazon. Here's my item. I just found it's top seller. ASIN's right there. And then we can skip all this because you're either going to do this or keyword searches. And then quantity, I think I'll list 3 of these. And then we'll generate the file. Okay, so I'm going to open this up in Excel. Because I'm on a Macintosh, there's a very specific way you have to save this file. So 2 things that we modify on this file. If you notice, line 1 is all about the header. Okay, so you got the action, category, title. It took the exact title out of Amazon. It gave me back my ASIN number on the custom label. This is important, so when you sell the item, you know how to go back and find it. And then we have the description. The description is an HTML code. Okay, it's all HTML. And this information here, if I copy this, you can actually see what it looks like on a HTML viewer. And it's essentially pulling out from Amazon's programming website using their API. Okay, so this was actually our very first software that we created 3 years ago. We have some more advanced stuff, but I'm just showing you the basic one right now. You might be sitting there thinking, wow, this is really technical, Caesar. I don't know if I can ever learn this. I promise you guys it's very simple. It's a lot simpler than having to copy and paste and getting lost. We've had our share of questions in that sense. But I'm just going to Google this really quick for your visual purpose only. And I'm going to go to an HTML viewer and just right-click and paste. There's my listing. There's my title. Okay. Here's our item condition. We have an important note for our buyers. that we're a small business and we're always working on bettering our financial situation. That's our kind of our trademark here. Product features, product description. Here's the Kleenex, description as well. There's a picture that's given to us from Amazon of the item, and some more details of the item, and then some shipping information to cover yourself. Okay, so having known that, we don't exactly copy word for word what Amazon provides, because someone like you, someone like me now knows how to go and find the item on eBay. And so what we do is we use a title optimizer tool, and we want to make sure that the title in here, I'm going to right click and copy this, is not longer than 80 characters. So we're going to go to title builder, and our title builder tool really gives us back our feedback of how long our title is. So we have a character counter in here. Excuse me. And that's really the key thing to understanding. eBay will reject your item if it's longer than 80 characters. So fortunately, this item here is only 48 characters. And then if you want to get the basic theme of this item, you can take keywords from different locations, like the description of the item, or in here it says Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues are perfect for times when you need a little extra TLC. 3-ply. See, but I don't know what's popular in keywords, right? But our tool does. We have two of them here. You can use the title optimizer or the title builder. So let me open up the title optimizer in a new tab, and I'm going to type in tissue. Let me get the generic word. Soft tissues. There you go. So I'm going to paste that down here in our query. We're going to hit get keywords, and then we're going to go over here and then do the same thing. Soft tissues. And it's going to give us some keywords here. So we have soft is popular, and of course popular, management, surgical, manual, basic, new pathology, extra tissue tumors, diagnosis, pain, bone disease. Okay, so that's what's picking up from based off the soft tissue keywords. What if I just did tissues? So then we have car. So yeah, you can have a tissue in your car, right? Refills, packs. So these are all great keywords that we can use. Let's go look at our title builder. So let's try tissues. Okay, so this gives us some more keywords. It didn't like the word soft tissue, so I always experiment and just change the words around. So it liked the word tissues. That's pretty popular. Box, cover, vintage, car, another word for car right there. Facial, hey, that's a great keyword. So let's go back in here and start modifying our title. Let's build it at the very top here, the title builder. So we're going to do new, facial, Kleenex, ultra soft tissues, car, let's see, facial, Kleenex, ultra soft tissues, white, 120 count, pack of 8, car. What else do we have in here? Holder, facial, plastic, pocket, Kleenex, pattern, sheet, silk, boxes. Okay, so let's use bathroom, home, and that's about all we have room for. After 3 characters, I'll be at 80. So I'm going to take this word here. We usually teach to take out the word, the brand and the model and the model number, but this or the item number, so that it's not easily searchable. But I just want to make, I want to do a test here. Let's copy this and let's go to eBay and let's search for this title and see what shows up. So right now it says 16 results. So click on eBay. Let's play around with our title that we just created. And how does it do? It should be 0. 0 results. Yet it found this guy still because it picked up the word facial and Kleenex. So if I remove Kleenex, what happens? Okay, so that still picks it up. So it's picking up the keywords based off of what we have here. And I don't want to erase the amount of quantity. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with that just for this example. You want to spend some time changing this around and making it different. So if I do, let's do this. What if I cut this out and put it at the end? Is there a difference? No. So it's going to pick it up no matter what. Kleenex is kind of a no-name. But that's okay. I just want to be a little bit different. Kleenex Ultra Soft. So this guy sold 11. He's not a top seller, but he's selling for $16.94. Isn't that interesting? And this guy has them for $16.49. So I'm going to copy my new title in here. The key thing that we want is a category. The categories from Amazon and eBay don't match. So all we have to do is go to our title builder. It's on the right-hand side there. Facial tissues. Copy that number, the ID number right there. Copy. Go back to Excel. Right? And then copy that number in the category. So 1, 2, and then the price. There's the base price. Okay, it's $13.58. Remember that? So how much do we want to make? Just for this example, guys, for the new member, I recommend just getting some sales under your belt. I'm just going to undercut this guy here by a penny. So $16.93. $16.93. And if you want to barter, you can. You can change it up a little bit, but I'm not going to do it on this example. We have a minimum best offer. You can actually delete these right here. So sorry for that. Okay, so return. Okay, we're gonna delete those 2 rows there. I don't want the minimum best offer, and then we're gonna change the where is it? Best offer. We can set that to 0. Okay, so all I'm gonna have is a buy it now price. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna copy my title into my description so they match. We have them in H1 characters. If you guys know HTML, it goes in between the H1 spaces right there. Paste it in there, and you're done. Okay. What else is in the description? We have some special code in the description that allows our software to pick up the price changes. My programmer told me last night that he updated the code based off the changes that happened in Amazon. So all our current members that have been playing around with this beta software called the Amazon Price Checker should be testing that tonight, and it's going to let you know if the prices change and if it's out of stock. Okay, and it's color-coded. If it's red, it's going to be out of stock. If it's green, it's going to be in stock. So he just notified me last night. I haven't had a chance to email everybody to say test it, but that is ready to go. Again, that's being dictated by our descriptions. We have some code in there for you guys. Okay, this file is ready to go. The last thing we do on this file, guys, is file, save as on the Macintosh. On the Windows, you don't have to worry about it. But if you want to follow along with me, just do file, save as. We want to make sure we're at Windows CSV. You see where it says comma separated values? You want to make sure you save as Windows formatted, Windows comma separated CSV right there. Because eBay doesn't know how to handle a Mac. I know it sounds crazy, but call me maybe. No, just kidding. But anyway, the deal is, guys, that Macintosh doesn't really know how to handle the information for Windows, and so that's why you want to save it as a Windows comma separated file. So I'm gonna dump it to my desktop. Actually, I'll put it on my downloads area because I got to clear out this folder anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna replace it what I already have there. Continue, and we're done. So this is what I would call one listing here. We have you go through about 5 of these. I did forget to mention about the weight and the sizes. I should probably go over that really quick. Why do we have weight and why do we have sizes? Because we're involved in the global shipping program. As a matter of fact, I would say 40% of my sales increased because we got the team involved in global shipping. What that means is that you ship the item to a location in the U.S. and eBay makes a commission by taking care of the customer service from that location to that, to the place it's going to go to. So if it's going to go to the UK as an example, then that's where they take care of anything that happens in that transaction. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them handling the overseas transactions. They're happy. They're paying for the the ship. They're getting paid by the shipping, and so they're handling all that. So that's all good. Okay, so where do you find the size and where do you find the weight? Down here at the bottom under product details, we got the size for you. That's pulled from the API. So look at that, 14. There's 14, 10, 9.5. Exactly what we have here. 5.5 for pounds, that's shipping weight. That's what we want. We want 5 pounds, 5 ounces. So let's go here. And so the weight major is going to be 5 pounds, and the weight minor is going to be 5 ounces. All right. So let's save that again. Save as, yep, Windows comma, and we're done. All right, now we're ready to upload this file into our eBay account. And let me go ahead and do that now. Head back over to our software. So I have a shortcut for you guys. If you're a brand new seller, you have to activate File Exchange on your eBay account. I should probably just show you where that's at. Yeah, let me show you where that's at. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, Site Map, and then this is where all the beautiful links of eBay are at. Look for File Exchange right in the middle under Selling Tools. This is the eBay software, and all we do is write a software that talks to them so we can upload our files to their format. And File Exchange is free to sign up. Click on Sign Up. Okay, and this is my test account I'm going to use. And it says, you're already subscribed to eBay File Exchange. Continue to File Exchange. That's exactly what we want to do. So I'm going to go to Upload Files right there. And we're going to go to Browse. And then we're going to go to our Downloads area. And then I'm going to choose that file that I just modified at 642 right there. And we're going to send it off. And that's just one item, okay? I just listed one item. And so if you've ever done eBay before and had a list by hand, this might be new to you. But I can tell you, you can get pretty quick by not just doing one item, but you know, what if you had 10 items in here? What if you had 50? And so I'm just going to give you an example on how to bulk list 50 items. I highly don't recommend you do this as a new seller because you might have limits. But if you wanted to, okay, make sure that you undercut everybody else in prices, and of course your titles are good. But you can go to Keyword, File Exchange, and then down here at the bottom where it says Keyword Query, type in type in tissues as an example. What category it's in? It's going to be in the home and garden, I'm guessing. Actually, I'll just do all because I don't know what department it would be at Amazon. And then minimum price, you know, how cheap do you want to pay? Let's just do $1. And then maximum price, let's just do 40. Give me back 40 items with a quantity of 2 to generate. Let it do its thing. In a few seconds here, we'll have a file. Oh, that was pretty quick. I don't know if it's still downloading or it might still be downloading. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's still pulling the information, so we'll let it finish. Now we have a lot of great teachers here. You know, like Lewis teaches his team something a little bit different, and I always recommend go back to the person who invited you. Everybody's got a different style of coaching. What it comes down to, guys, with anything online, whether you're selling on eBay, whether you're selling on Bonanza, whether you're selling on Facebook, is if a person is going to go and search for your keyword of your item, are you the best price in town? And so if you want to stay competitive, then you want to definitely check your competition, right? So here we go. I just pulled, you know, line 1 doesn't count because that's your title header. And then you can see I just grabbed a bunch of Kleenex here, different variations, up to 40 items. Exactly, right? It says 41 because we're pushing down that first one. But as you'll notice here, you got images. This software actually pulls multiple images. And so here's one image. I'll just give you an example of what it looks like of this particular item. No longer do you have to save these to your computer. You just pull them right up. Okay, that's one image of that code. Actually, this has multiple images of like 3 or more. So here's another one of the same item. Oops, there we go. There's the other image of the other item. And then here's the last image. This one gives you 3. So there's a lot of time saved here. You know, if I really wanted to list all these items, I did the same thing for heaters I believe, in January and December, and I was moving a lot of heaters. It was kind of funny too, because I had another drop shipper contact me and say, "Hey, I'm out of stock on this heater. Can you supply me? Are you a drop shipper as well?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a drop shipper as well." So we're both out of stock. Hey, Louis, has that ever happened to you?
Well, yeah, it does happen. I have though fulfilled orders for other drop shippers. They just haven't looked carefully enough.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's funny. And we've done it. It happens for sure. But it's a great way to meet other drop shippers as well. Okay, guys. So as a new seller, as a new person that's listing, our intention is really to help you get going, so you understand how to list items. You'll get an email. At least you should get an email here once the item is listed. I don't know if it's on this account or my other one. Let's see. Okay, upload was successful. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time for it to kick in, anywhere between 20, sometimes less, 20 to 30 minutes. So we'll let it sit there for a while. Let me head back so we can stay on point. So I just taught you drop shipping. Okay, once that item sells, those 8 boxes of Kleenex, I'll receive the cash into my PayPal account. I'll use that person's money, which is a little bit less, right? Let me go back to my screen here. I will spend the $17.52 or whatever I sold it at. Okay, I will spend the difference. I will spend this price here, $13.58, to ship it to the customer. All right, he's happy or she's happy, and then they come back and they leave you positive feedback. Oh, they shipped it to me in 2 days. I love this guy. All right, so why does this model work? I really believe it works for shy people, guys. Copy and pasting really led to sales, and really that's when I stopped and thought to myself that this really helps for my wife. If she can do this, wow, I think I can help out a lot of people, because she was looking for something to do. And so really our motto is the more you list, the more you make. Like Louis says, he's up in the 2,000 items. I think Don's up at 5,000 items. We have a guy who's retiring who bought an RV. He was at 6,000 items, and it's crazy. It sounds crazy. Like how you can have the time to do that? Our motto is, if you stay consistent, you list at least 10 a day. If you're busy, like I've had people say, I got 8 hours in a day. I say, well, you're not going to be listing for 8 hours. You got to be honest with yourself. You want to be honest with yourself and say, how much time do you really have dedicated to list a few items? If you can do 10 items a day, I think that's more than enough, and then start building it up from there. If you can do more, well, that's great. Do more. Quarter 4 was our busiest season. I had to put this up when I did my webinar in October, November. And I put this up because I think it's important to note that December sales should be peaking the best. And for some sellers, that's the case. For other sellers, that's the month that things go out of stock, and so I'm going to put my store on vacation. And so you can run your business however you want. I will tell you that it's really what it comes down to is it depends on the product that you're moving. I think there's a time and place for everything. Like I guarantee you I was selling a lot of my hot sauce bottles because it was Christmas time. Another hot seller I had was these night vision cameras, which would actually follow you. It was actually kind of funny. But that was a hot seller. I was making $100 profits on those things. And I wish my supplier had more, but he ran out of stock. But, what it comes down to, it was Christmas time. I think people are scared because of all these stories on the news that people are breaking in. So you got to really pay attention to what's going on in the world, right, on the outside world, what's popular. Right now, a lot of Christians believe it's going to be the end of the world. I should say, yeah. So there's a lot of, apocalypse, the end of the world equipment like food and dry foods, that kind of stuff is what you want to prepare for. That's the kind of stuff you want to be selling. So think about stuff like that. End of the world. Right now we're in the season of winter. I think it's colder back east than it is we actually had snow, believe it or not, guys. We had snow in California, which was my first time seeing snow fall in my city that I live in. And so think about heaters. Think about what's in season. And I think someone said it best. Everything sells. Not listing anything doesn't. I think you would agree with that, right, Liz?
Absolutely.
You want to share your testimonial? You've been with us since March, but you actually, before us, you were with another company, and you started December of 2012, correct?
Right. So I started December, which obviously is a good time to start because I didn't have a large store, but because obviously we're at the peak of retail activity, I started getting sales, and it really excited me. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough to know that I was onto something. And immediately, it just made sense that if I could do 20 or so sales my first month, with a very limited store, that I could probably get that to maybe 200 or 300 sales if I just simply grew my store. For me, it was just a matter of scaling my business up. The opportunity to sell on consignment with eBay, where they basically take a percentage of the sales, was really very appealing. Basically, no capital risk with the dropshipping model. That was attractive to me. And to be able to run a store for $16 a month was ridiculous, right? So I knew I was onto something, but my biggest challenge was, okay, well, how do I scale my store up? Like, how do I really get my numbers up so I can get more than 20 sales a month, where I can get, 20 sales maybe a day? And that's ultimately, in my opinion, the best way to do that, or the easiest way to do that, is to scale your business up. We can get really, really good at trying to figure out eBay and get the best items up there, targeted listings. We could do that. That takes a lot of time, but I thought, if I have a large enough presence, then I'm simply going to make more sales. And so I built my store aggressively and started in March, started tracking my business, did $2,000 in my first full month with EDS, $2,000 the following month, over $3,000 the following month, and then I started writing right on the $4,500 mark for several months, and then November, really blew up in December. And now I spent my entire month last month paying zero attention to my store. Still generated a nice income for me. I was primarily focused on coaching new people and coaching some of my students that have been around for a while that maybe got started but really didn't devote much time to it and really wanted to now get with the program and take advantage of the model. So, but the great thing is that it's kind of semi-passive income, because I didn't list anything in January, still pulled in over $4,000. Now things have kind of leveled off a little bit with the coaching. I can get back to paying attention to my store. Then aggressively, Dollars and Inspiration, I saw her listing breaking over 4,000 on her way to 5,000. That makes sense to me, so I'm going to, follow her example and try to get my store up to 5,000, double my inventory by the end of the year.
Awesome. And Ray asked, Ray G, I don't have his last name, but he asked a question here. Is that $7,000 that you made on eBay / Amazon sales, or $7,000 profit? And yeah, he actually made profit.
Profit. So that was my walk away eBay income. I have other sources of income, and that's a great thing, is that this can be worked around your life. So that was my eBay profit after all of my seller fees and expenses.
Awesome, Louis. Thanks for that testimonial. And by the way, guys, in the training center, that very first month that we talked about in August, when Louis cleared 4,000, I think most average people. Let me pull out a calculator here because I think this is important. The U.S. consensus says the average American brings home $37,000 a year. Okay, this is a W-2 income where you get raped in taxes like there's no other. Okay, 42% goes to Uncle Sam. Don't get me started. This is why I'm an entrepreneur. So $37,000, right, divided by 12 months is roughly $3,000 a month. Okay, that a person brings home. Now you got, I grew up with my mom staying home and my dad going to work. Now you got two parents working at a job, and the kids are being raised by somebody else. So this is where the system is messed up, guys. Again, don't get me started. It's a whole different story, a tangent, and I'm trying to hold myself back because I'm not really excited about what's happening to our people in the U.S., even in the world. And so if I can instill any type of inspiration, or if Louis can do it, or any other leader here at EDS, it's that you can take an average person, educate them a little bit to believe in themselves, because that's really what it comes down to. it's I don't have to do this webinar. Lewis doesn't have to do this webinar. We can do fine without anybody else joining the team. But we spend time. This is why I waited so long, because I wanted to prove to you guys that our numbers are our numbers. This is not stuff that you can just fabricate. And if we can prove to you and maybe raise your belief level, then maybe you might have interest to come on board and learn what we do, and then you can change your financial situation. I've had, and please let me make this clear up front, because I want you guys to save your hardworking money. Do not join the team if you're going to come join me and then pitch me a new deal of the day. It's happened, and some of my students have done it, and it's unfortunate. And I don't say anything. I just kind of let it pass by. But when you're not laser focused, you're not going to make money on anything that you touch. I'm a proven example of that, because I used to be that guy that had my hands in 10 different things, and I wasn't really successful in any of them. So you really got to spend the time. And I don't know how Lewis feels about that statement, but you really have to respect your coach's time, because they're going to spend some time reviewing your items. So here's the deal. That training that Lewis did, it's inside the Q&A section, okay, and you're welcome to watch that. That was done, like I said, back in August, September. It's the very bottom here where it says Lewis, May 46th, in the month of August. Watch this webinar. He gives you a PowerPoint on how to track all your sales, how to make your profits, and how he does it, and that's what he teaches his team. And we're grateful to have Lewis that spend some time to share that with us. We all have a different format. You have to connect with that format that makes the most sense for you, because there is different personalities. What I do may not work with you. It may not work with working with me, but you can work with Lewis. Whatever works for you, you have to make that decision if what we have here resonates with you. So I like to be upfront and honest with you guys. I like people to save their money. If you're not really serious about staying laser focused on really changing your financial situation this year, then don't do it. That's simple as that. Only you know that. So where does that leave us? So we talked about Q4. We have an online marketing system, which I can tell you that we're not really big on bringing in new people. Probably 10% of the people involved with EDS do anything as far as inviting new members, and that's really because they're busy processing their sales, they're busy running their stores. And so it was never intended for this to be a big recruiting deal or a hypey thing. This is a legitimate business model that we've been running for over 3 years now. And here's kind of the who the system is really good for. It was really created for that struggling internet marketer, network marketer, part-timers looking to build residual income on the back end. We have a 2-tier affiliate model, which means that if you want to start making money with us and you want to start building a membership database of students, then you can go back and pay it forward, and then we'll pay you a pretty handsome commission. It's good for stay-at-home moms and dads, college students, people looking for that team support, and it's a really good feeder system that you can attach to anything. Okay, so I'm going to fly through these slides real quick here, guys, because it's 7 o'clock, and I got my son is actually sick. He's been throwing up all day, so I don't want to hang out with you guys too long. No, family comes first, but I want to make sure I cover this. And a lot of this presentation stuff is we have a lot of this recorded on YouTube. You can see a lot of this stuff if you want to see the full presentation. But what I did here differently in the last 3 or 4 months since my last webinar is really we focused on building our Amazon store. We wanted a bona fide, I like that word that Lewis uses, a bona fide Amazon store, and our eBay store. We want to balance both of them. And so that was our intention, is to build both, and that was just another stream of income for us. We have a training center, guys, that you get started with. I showed you a piece of that tonight. You log in and start using our tools. The videos really take you through and hand by hand, and you're going to complete a few modules starting from the top, working your way down. We have a marketing system that we paid for here to allow you to market what we do. If you like internet marketing, that's there for you. We have a Facebook support group. Okay, a lot of questions get asked here or answered. So a lot of great people here supporting each other. You saw our tools. You get access to. Well, let me go over them. Let me see if I can start this slide here. Play from. Yeah, there we go. All right. Can you see my screen, Lewis? By any chance, are you on the?
I can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay. My screen blacked out for some reason.
It said that there was an error.
Okay. So I think this happened last time. It didn't allow me to go full screen. Yeah, that's what happened. I just crashed my PowerPoint, I think. It's probably because I haven't cleaned this Mac since I bought it. So it's been like this since I think my first year into EDS. I started. So interesting enough, it's got me locked up here. Let me see if I can close this out. Yeah, it crashed. So much for Macs, huh? Yeah, I don't know. It's always done that to me on full screen. So here we go. Now we're recovered. Where was I at? Can you still see my screen? Are we good now? You guys still with me?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I had to unmute.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you got access to a training center. We got the marketing system, private Facebook group. You got a sneak peek at our bulk listing tools here tonight. I just showed you the Amazon one. We have one for Overstock, another one for Kmart, another one for Walmart. Title tools. I showed you our title tools here tonight. SEO, search engine optimization. That's huge. Our model is simple. You know, we don't take any of your profits from eBay. Your store is your profits. I didn't make anything off of Lewis's $4,600 that he made off of his eBay sales. That's his money, and that's what we teach you. Our model, what we ask here is pennies. I think my friend was paying like $1,500 for a kiosk in the mall and not bringing home not even $1,200 from sales. So keep that in mind. You know, to run a business from a traditional brick and mortar business is very difficult. And so we are a brick and mortar, taking people from brick and mortar to click and order. That's really our philosophy here. And we have a two-tier referral system, meaning that if Lewis refers me, okay, he's going to get 50% commissions. If I refer somebody, I refer Cam, then he will get 10% commissions off of the training portion of it. So we do spend time with our students. So the time for our training membership fee, that's really what it comes down to. So what's our fees? We have two packages. We have $397 for our basic level, which includes the title builder that you saw here tonight, Amazon keyword data mining, Amazon SKU data mining, Amazon page data mining, Overstock page and SKU data mining, a private group team support, Amazon price and stock checker. If you want to learn the Amazon stuff that I showed you here tonight, you know how to go beyond a few $1,000s in sales and start hitting the 10,000 and beyond, it's really scalable. And a word of caution, I told you guys this from the very beginning. If you showed up late, you might have missed this. But in order to really scale up, you need to have capital. Okay, I got to the point where I was running out of capital. Amazon, another good thing to know is Amazon doesn't pay you every day. They pay you every 2 weeks. And so these numbers, this is based off from December 1st all the way up to February 1st. I actually show you right here. Okay, December 1st all the way up to February 2015. I believe we started this back in October, maybe, yeah, definitely October. Let me go back to August. It could have been September. But we didn't really know what we were doing. Let me apply that filter. So, it went from 32,000 to 37,000. So we made a total of $37,000 on Amazon, moving 707 products. When we started this, I teach you exactly what I did here in the advanced section, right here. Okay, it's called FBA, How to Sell on Amazon e-commerce site. I'll show you what exactly tools that we buy. Okay, and so you're going to need some capital to buy some tools. You're going to need some heat guns. You're going to need some equipment, some packing equipment. This is more hands-on. Okay, I made a decision with my wife to do this because we were exactly looking for another stream of income. How to take our capital that we got on eBay and go apply it onto buying on products. And so we teach you that in the advanced section. If that's what's interested to you, if that interests you at all, you get that. You get automation tools for larger stores with our software. We got Kmart bulk lister, keyword mining, page and item data mining. We got Walmart bulk lister, keyword data mining, page item grabber. We got the Amazon top seller item data mining, meaning that I can go take that guy's name and go scrape all his sales that he made in the last few days, okay, that seller on eBay, and I can see what he sold and give me a list of that items, the ASIN numbers. We have a low quantity tricks software trick automation software that basically tells your buyers, oh, Lisa's down to 2 items. I better hurry up and buy. Well, she buys 1 item, it gets pushed up to another item. So that's the automation trick software, and then of course the FBA and some other slew of training tools in there and coaching. And I didn't even talk about the personal development section that we have in the EDS Center. But that's really up to you. What package makes the most sense, guys? To be frank with you, after making a couple $100 a day in sales, I don't get excited about $600 of coaching somebody. I just don't. And that's no offense to any of you on this webinar. If $600 is a big deal to you, or even $400 is a big deal to you, you got to ask yourself this question. If you're taking notes, what are you doing right now in your life that got you to that point that became a big deal? Because I'm looking at it's unfortunate, and I'm not blaming you and I'm not blaming your parents, but it's unfortunate the way the system is built because we've been so conditioned to win. We were actually born to win as kids, and we got conditioned to lose. They say the average American stops dreaming after they turn 25. Okay, that means that they die at 25, but they don't get buried until they're 65. That's a pretty sad statement, and I heard that once said, and it's so true, though. A lot of my friends that have grown up or haven't grown up, they're still stuck in their high school days, and they just they haven't really figured it out, and so you got to surround yourself with people that are making things happen, like the Lewises, the folks involved in the EDS. There's plenty of great people, Jennifer, and there's support from Dawn, and there's support from Chris, and there's I can go on, Jimmy and JC. A lot of great folks involved that have been with us for over 2 years, 3 years, and the system it keeps on growing. We have to change with times. Things change with eBay in August of last year, where they start saying, oh, if you're not fulfilling orders, we're going to start docking your account, and people start getting their accounts shut down. And so that's when I started to invest more money into the tools to hopefully help you guys maintain your stores and use our tools to get you to where you want to be. So you have to make the decision. Get back to the person that invited you. Here's a screenshot from my iPhone. Again, this is income disclaimer. Not everybody's going to make this kind of money because not everybody's an action taker. I've coached enough people that they say they're going to do something and they never do it. Okay, they're just, I don't know. You have to make that decision. If you believe that you can do it and you believe that you can carve out 2 hours a day, then I think you're a great fit for what we do here. But again, you have to make that decision. Amazon sales, in December, like I told you, I was selling the same products in December. I was working a lot harder in December, but I made less in sales. I don't know what happened. But then January came around, and then I found a product that I mixed with my store, and then that started selling better. And so I got to the point where, I needed capital. I started leveraging investors. I started looking for people that have capital so I can buy more product, and then I started making more money. So it's kind of cool to figure out a game where you can make a return on your money pretty quick, able to pay off credit cards, pay off student loans, but whatever your goals are, right? So we're coaching 5 people this week. I think Lewis says he's got time for maybe 2. I got time for maybe 2 and possibly 3. But unfortunately, we have 100 plus people. I'm gonna guess about 40 of you on this webinar, maybe 50 are brand new to seeing what we do. And if you don't mind, and maybe you're like the person that kicks around the tires for a couple of days and says, I'm ready to join in 2 days, or you're waiting for your tax return, whatever the case is, and you come back to us later in the week or something and you say, I'm ready to get started, then if you don't mind, maybe Lewis can coach you, or I can point you in the direction of one of my leaders that can coach you, because I got to admit, why I haven't done webinars is because I got so busy. And so I want to make sure that you're aligned with somebody on the team that isn't as busy as I am. And if I invited you, maybe my wife can coach you. No, I lie. She's homeschooling my kids. I can't do that. So I'll find a leader for you. So if I invited you, right, and you say, hey, I really want to learn this stuff, I just want to start small, then I will point you to the best leader that makes themselves available. The person that shows up to the Facebook group that's supporting people, the one that I see active, that's the person that I believe that you should be around with, because that's the person that's going to support you. Is that fair? So I want to make sure that you get your money's worth of your time. And again, it's not a lot we're asking for you to get coached. So You know, everybody's got different goals, guys. You want to cash that money in your PayPal account. What are you going to do? Quit your job, go travel, fly, or live an RV lifestyle? We actually have this in the back of our mind, you know, living the RV lifestyle, traveling, because you can do a lot of the stuff that we do on eBay while you travel. I think Lewis had a pretty cool story. He made a lot of money when he was traveling. Didn't you go on vacation, Lewis? Weren't you on, like, in Florida making sales?
I was in Miami for 10 days, and you know, it was pretty cool that you know the business was still open, and I didn't have to. I've owned traditional business in the past, and it's difficult to take vacation and walk away from your business and worry about how efficiently or effectively your business is being operated when you're not there. Great thing is obviously eBay is an expert at managing their business, which now becomes our business, and you know they continue to drive traffic to my store. Didn't miss a beat, and I don't know. We probably made I can't remember the number, but I want to say over those 10 days probably made close to $2,000, which is pretty awesome. You know, knowing that we're enjoying ourselves and not tied to a desk or tied to an office.
Absolutely. Ray, you asked. I don't know if the question's for me or for Lewis. He's asking, did you make this money at the pro level? We only have basic or advanced. I'm going to guess by pro he means advanced. Yeah, Lewis is part of the advanced section, correct? Mm-hmm. Any other questions, guys? We're going to wrap it up here. And I do apologize, but my son, I got to go attend to him, help out my wife. If you have any further questions, please do get back to the person who invited you, and we'll be happy to get you going. We have quite a bit of people involved. Let me open up the lines to the person that wasn't able to dial in. So give me a second here. You know what? Can you press *5 list on your phone?
Sure.
I don't know why. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do it.
You are now unmuted.
All right. Any questions for folks that are on the line? All right, great. I think you can mute the line now, Lewis.
You are now muted.
Cool. Well, you guys have a great rest of the night. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me over here at Back East. You know, back for me, it's Back East. I'm in California, so I appreciate you guys staying up late. I know it's 10 o'clock there. And if you guys have any further questions, please do ask in the room. You can message Lewis. I believe you can even message us on our site. And, yeah, you're welcome, definitely, Chris. You're welcome, Joanne and Jennifer. But definitely get back to the person that sent you an email to say, hey, I'm interested. I think I'm ready to get started at XYZ level. You know, I think I'm basic. I need to get my feet wet, or I'm ready to go. I got money to invest. I want to start moving some product. And I can tell you guys right now, it's a great way to leverage credit card, like I mentioned, and start to really scale up your business. So whatever you guys want to do, it's up to you, and that's the decision that you have to make. And I do apologize for my bluntness. I like to be upfront with most people. I don't want to sugarcoat anything and tell you that you can get rich overnight. This is a real, job, if you want to call it a job. But like Lewis said, it can be a very passive, excellent income, because once your items start moving, you start to realize, oh, I only listed this thing once, and it keeps on selling over and over again. This is kind of cool. So you start to find your hot sellers, and that's really the key thing to this business. You find out what works. Okay, you find out what's popular, what keywords are working for you, and you start to kind of build your own niche. So, again, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Feel free to get back to the person that got you invited. So, yeah, you're welcome, Michael. No problem. First time here, that's cool. What are you dialed in for, Michael? Michael says he appreciates an honest, non-hype webinar. Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that. I've been enough of those webinars. George, Utah. Wow, awesome.
So Corey says he looked at our webinars numerous times, wanted to get in soon. Awesome, brother. Well, make that decision. You know, money doesn't sleep, and it unfortunately, you know, money does have to pay for everything. So that's how things happen. You guys don't want to know what I had to pay to hire a coach and learn the Amazon stuff. Okay, that was a very difficult time in my life to invest, but had to make things happen. So it's all about reinvesting. You got to constantly grow and learn. That's really the key thing. St. George, Utah. Gotcha, Michael. Beautiful area. I was in Riverton a few years back. I love the drive out there. Very green. At least it was green when I went. Make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Jarvis, does the file exchange pull Prime items for free shipping? Yes. So it's a great question. You can actually pull any ASIN item that you like, but if you're going to do a bulk keyword grab, then it's tailored to, if I remember correctly, when I first built the tool, it's tailored to just pull Prime items only. For folks that are brand new to Amazon, Prime means that you get free shipping. Okay, it's basically moved by Amazon alone. And I didn't have time to go into Bonanza. That's another site that I made some sales over in December. I don't know if Louis uses Bonanza, but I actually sync my store from Amazon over to Bonanza, and I think you can do it with eBay as well. And I was moving product there as well. So okay, I think we covered all the questions. Great, guys. Well, you guys have a fantastic night. Be safe, and I appreciate every single one of you being on this webinar. And it was recorded, so there will be a replay sent out in case you missed any part of the webinar. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Louis, thank you so much for being on the webinar tonight.
No problem.
Have a good night. Bye.
Good night.